Promoting vaccine confidence. Scan the QR code and take the survey. About the vaccine. Key things to know about COVID-19 vaccines. COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective at preventing COVID-19 disease, especially severe illness and death. COVID-19 vaccines reduce the risk of people spreading the virus that causes COVID-19. You may have side effects after vaccination. These are normal and should go away within a few days. It typically takes 2 weeks after vaccination for the body to build protection against the virus that causes COVID-19. You are not fully vaccinated until 2 weeks after the second dose of the 2-dose vaccine or 2 weeks after a single-dose vaccine. Learn about how to find the COVID vaccine so you can get it as soon as you can. Learn more about what you can do when you have been fully vaccinated. What we are still learning about the COVID-19 vaccine. How well the vaccines protect people with weakened immune systems, including people who take medicines that suppress the immune system. How long COVID-19 vaccines protect people. How many people have to be vaccinated against COVID-19 before the population can be considered protected, also known as population immunity, and how effective the vaccines are against new variants of the virus that cause COVID-19. Availability of vaccines. Vaccines are widely accessible in the United States. Everyone aged 12 years and older should get a COVID-19 vaccination as soon as possible. Vaccines are widely accessible in the U.S. and are available for everyone at no cost. Learn more about how COVID-19 vaccines get to you. Many doctors' offices, retail pharmacies, hospitals, and clinics offer COVID-19 vaccinations. Parents, check with your child's healthcare provider about whether they offer COVID-19 vaccination. The Southeast and Coastal Health Districts are also offering vaccines, and they have an online Georgia vaccine locator. We encourage members of our campus community and family to take advantage of these opportunities. Availability of vaccines. Vaccinations will continue to be offered on campus throughout the upcoming semester. Vaccination clinics for the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine are scheduled for the first week of classes on the following days. Tuesday, August 10th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on the Statesboro campus in the MAC gym at the Rack, and Thursday, August 12th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on the Armstrong campus in Savannah at the Armstrong Recreation Center gym. The cost of the vaccine is free. Vaccine effectiveness. COVID-19 vaccines are effective at keeping you from getting COVID-19, especially severe illness and death. COVID-19 vaccines reduce the risk of people spreading the virus that causes COVID-19. COVID-19 vaccines teach our immune systems how to recognize and fight the virus that causes COVID-19. It typically takes 2 weeks after vaccination for the body to build protection or immunity against the virus that causes COVID-19. That means it is possible a person could still get COVID-19 before or just after vaccination and then get sick because the vaccine did not have enough time to build protection.
First came the virus that had never been seen before, and that spread faster than we could ever imagine. Now we hear there's a safe and effective way to stop it. Vaccines that will protect millions from COVID-19. But can we really know they're safe after less than a year of testing? COVID-19 vaccines may be new, but vaccines are not. We've been using vaccines to protect against infectious diseases for over a century. 2 COVID vaccines are the first authorized vaccines ever to use a new technology, but even that technology, called messenger RNA, has been tested and studied by vaccine researchers for decades. We've learned how to make vaccines better and safer, and we've applied all that knowledge to COVID-19 vaccines. We also had a head start on COVID vaccines thanks to studies the National Institutes of Health had done. Scientists there actually created a vaccine that could be custom made to fight different strains of coronavirus, like the virus that causes COVID. Using these studies, they were able to make a COVID-19 test vaccine just over a month after the disease was first reported. All vaccines have to be thoroughly tested before they can be marketed. During clinical trials, scientists measure and compare data on volunteers who receive a vaccine to those who receive a placebo, like an injection of saline. Most early clinical trials involve fewer than 3,000 volunteers, so it can take a year or more to get the data needed to measure how well vaccines work. Early clinical trials for COVID vaccines enrolled at least 30,000 volunteers each, so data on safety and performance were collected and analyzed in under 4 months. Vaccines are usually developed one step at a time, and companies wait until they have final approval to start manufacturing them. But addressing this pandemic couldn't wait. So government and industry invested millions of dollars to produce vaccines at the same time their test data was under review. This meant health departments and clinics started getting vaccine shipments a few days after the Food and Drug Administration's rigorous standards for safety were met, and the vaccines were authorized for public use. Thanks to extraordinary advances, science, industry, and dozens of government agencies have been able to work together to produce and deliver safe and effective COVID-19 vaccines in record time. Decades of experience and innovation led to this achievement, one that can keep you, your family, and your community safe from a serious and dangerous disease. Learn more, cdc.gov/coronavirus. We can do this.
Key messages about COVID-19 vaccination. When communicating with other students, focus on these summary points. 1. You can help stop the COVID-19 pandemic by getting a COVID-19 vaccine. 2. COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. 3. COVID-19 vaccines are free. 4. After COVID-19 vaccination, you might have some temporary side effects. These are normal signs that your body is building protection. 5. If you are fully vaccinated, you can participate in many of the activities that you did before the pandemic. To maximize protection from the Delta variant and prevent possibly spreading it to others, wear a mask indoors in public if you are in an area of substantial or high transmission. Population immunity. Population immunity means that enough people in a community are protected from getting a disease because they've already had the disease or because they've been vaccinated. Population immunity makes it hard for disease to spread from person to person. It even protects those who cannot be vaccinated, like newborns or people who are allergic to a vaccine. The percentage of people who need to have protection to achieve population immunity varies by disease. We are still learning how many people have to be vaccinated against COVID-19 before the population can be considered protected. New variants. We are still learning how effective the vaccines are against new variants of the virus that causes COVID-19. New variants of the virus that causes COVID-19 are spreading in the United States. Current information suggests that COVID-19 vaccines authorized for use in the United States offer protection against most variants. However, some variants may cause illness in some people after they are fully vaccinated if the variants are circulating in the community. How to talk to your peers about the vaccine.
COVID-19 vaccine conversations with friends. COVID-19 vaccines are new. It's normal for people to have questions about them. Listen to friends and family's questions with empathy. Ask open-ended questions to explore their concerns. Share trusted information with them. Help them find their own reason to get vaccinated. Help make their vaccination happen. Offer to make their appointment, accompany them, drive them, or babysit for them. You can build vaccine confidence. Each vaccinated person helps us move past the COVID-19 pandemic.
Listen to their questions with empathy. COVID-19 vaccines are new, and it's normal for people to have questions about them. The sheer amount of information and misinformation about COVID-19 vaccines can be overwhelming to anyone. You can help by listening without judgment and identifying the root of their concerns. Acknowledge their emotions so that they know they have been heard. For example, you can say, "It sounds like you are stressed at work and home, and concerns about the vaccine are another source of stress. That's really tough." Ask open-ended questions to explore their concerns. Open-ended questions are meant to elicit more than a yes or no answer. Asking open-ended questions can help you understand what your friend or family member is worried about, where they learned any troubling information, and what they have done to get answers to their questions. For example, you can ask, "How did watching that news report make you feel? What did you do next?" Try not to sound judgmental, and ask questions that help you understand their concerns. For example, avoid things like, "That's a silly concern," or "Why would you be worried about that?" Ask permission to share information. Once you understand your friend or family member's question or concern, ask if you can provide some information, and tell them where you get the information you trust. If they agree, they will be more willing to listen to you instead of feeling like you're pushing unwanted information on them. You can find answers to common questions from reputable sources, including cdc.gov, your local health department website, or other trusted sources, such as their doctor, nurse, or pharmacist. Sometimes sharing quick, accurate answers to common concerns your family or friends might have can go a long way towards moving someone from worry to confidence. If you don't know the answer to their questions, considering offering to help look for information. Help them find their own reason to get vaccinated. Everyone who chooses to get vaccinated does it for a reason: to protect their family, to protect their children, to be less anxious, to visit their parents, or to get back to activities like seeing friends, resuming work, or returning to school. After addressing concerns with empathy and facts, you can steer the conversation from why not to the important reasons that matter to them, their why. You may choose to share your reasons for getting vaccinated or discuss common goals you may have, like visiting with each other safely. The reasons that someone may choose to get vaccinated will always be those that are most compelling to them personally. Help make their vaccination happen. Once someone decides on their why, help them make a commitment to get vaccinated. Help them make a path to the vaccination shorter, easier, and less stressful for them. Offer to help your family member or friend make an appointment at a location nearby, and if needed, go to the appointment with them. Offer to help with transportation or to babysit if they need childcare. Remember, every person who chooses to get vaccinated brings us all a step closer to moving past the COVID-19 pandemic. As a trusted messenger to your family and friends, you can play a role in their decision to vaccinate. Address misinformation about COVID-19 vaccination by sharing key facts. COVID-19 vaccines cannot give you COVID-19. People who have already gotten sick with COVID-19 may still benefit from getting vaccinated. There is currently no evidence that COVID-19 vaccination causes any problems with pregnancy or fertility. COVID-19 vaccines do not change your DNA in any way. It will take more than one conversation to change minds. Vaccine hesitancy, especially when rooted in the lack of trust rather than lack of information, is best addressed through trusted messengers and trusted spaces. Encourage two-way dialogue and allow space for people to ask questions. Communication tips. Tailor your message for your audience. Americans' perceptions about vaccines and their safety differ by political party, race, age, and geography. Talk about the people behind the vaccine. Refer to the scientists, the health and medical experts, and the researchers, not the science, health, and pharmaceutical companies. Avoid judgmental language when talking to people who are concerned. Acknowledge their concern or skepticism and offer to answer their questions. Explain the benefits of getting vaccinated, not just the consequences of not doing it. Say, getting the vaccine will keep you and your family safe, rather than calling it the right thing to do. Focus on the need to return to normal and reopen the economy. Use and repeat the word every to explain the vaccine development process. For example, every study, every phase, and every trial was reviewed by the FDA and a safety board. Support vaccine decision-making. Quick facts for your back pocket. Scientists weren't starting from scratch. Researchers were always studying coronaviruses before the pandemic began. They were already working on developing vaccines for these types of viruses. The world came together. Normally, there's a lot of competition around developing things like medications, medical tests, and vaccines. With COVID-19, countries shared information to help speed the process. Side effects are normal with any vaccine. All vaccines have potential side effects. This is because your immune system is responding to the vaccine. COVID-19 vaccine effects are usually mild. Some people won't have any side effects at all. If you do have side effects, they'll most likely be manageable and will go away in 1 to 3 days. Some common side effects are arm pain where the shot was given, headache, feeling tired, and a slight fever. It's more likely you'll experience side effects after your second shot. If you've had COVID-19, it's still recommended you get vaccinated. It's possible to become reinfected with COVID-19, meaning you can get it again. We don't know how long your body's natural immune response will last. Getting vaccinated will help protect you from getting seriously sick with COVID-19 in the future. Do not get the COVID-19 vaccine if you've had a severe allergic reaction, anaphylaxis, to vaccines or the components of that vaccine. Anyone with a history of severe medication allergies should talk to their healthcare provider about whether or not the vaccine is right for them. Please reach out to us with any questions, and please scan this QR code to take the post survey.